So this is the knowledge assistant from Schema App, which is an NL web-based system that allows you to kind of interact with your knowledge graph. And the idea in here is this knowledge assistant is that it's using the structured schema.org data that you already curate, that you've already used, and every answer it uses in this is cited, gives you the exact entity and the place where the source of the information is coming back from. And there's a few different things I want to share with you today. So the first is this cross-site synthesis. So across marketing, support as an example, in our website, we have multiple different sites. You can pick between the different websites. And in this example, you can see, well, what is Entity Hub and how do I perform an entity audit? This is actually coming from some of our website, as well as some of our training and even staging data in this case, which is a copy from our WordPress site. The results show you kind of an answer, an overview, as well as we've always include a few key facts, and then the sources. So if you are curious to know about the entity manager, you can kind of click through and that would open up another tab. And what's kind of interesting there is that it's kind of gives you one synthesized response, the same brand, two services, but it's all living in one governed graph. The system doesn't really care which subdomain it is, and for enterprises that might be quite useful for our number of subdomains. And as an administrator, you can pick and choose the pre-select what you want for your experience. If you're to push this out to your website, you can just pick that you only maybe want your support site and your marketing site as an example. Another interesting example is this kind of FAQ rich result. So we've kind of, what Guha and the team have created is a ability to customize those responses and actually create more richer experiences. In this case, we're just reusing the FAQPage question and answer set that you've kind of may have created in your schema markup or in your web pages. And in this case, it's asking additional questions or providing additional questions and answers from that page, which is really great, like useful kind of information that people might be asking about. And so you can actually span, you see even more options in here. So perhaps another one that's kind of interesting is contact routing. So another kind of rich result that we've created is around contact points. And so you might be familiar with some of these from Google search results, same idea. If you have contact points defined on your website, you can even see how it's broken down by the different channels or the different contact points. So for customer support, you have the support email. If you wanted to do general inquiries, you could do a hello, and that's obviously interesting. Ours is a smaller site, smaller organization, but in a large hospital or educational institution, you have lots of divisions. So if you're asking questions about a certain division or a certain specialty department, this is a great way to surface that information unambiguously. And again, it's getting cited from those relevant pages. There's another kind of area. So what this is useful for really is, as you see here, is just a conversational experience. We put the knowledge assistant in the Schema app as a preview to how it might look like on your website. On our website, we're turning it, we've switched from our search default functionality that's more lexical search and keyword-based matching to this vector-based semantic search that uses all of the schema data to provide the responses in the NL web protocol. And so this is more of a preview experience. Some of our customers like to use this to explore like the coverage and kind of to understand like what's already included, and kind of gives you a preview as well. And so there are more administrative functions to help you match with your brand as you push it to your website and kind of hit the defaults, as I mentioned earlier. The secondary thing is really this it's this conversational experience. So like you can kind of continue to respond to and carry on the messages. So if you want to refine the questions and explore the domain a little bit further, it's retaining some context from the conversation. And you can pick this up later. This is in memory, so you're able to come back here at a later point and pick up the conversation, which is good. So this is conversational, kind of like a chatbot, reminiscent of a ChatGPT kind of experience. And but it's going to be hosted on your site. And then the third thing is really I think the reason why we're here is for the agentic web. And the agentic web is this emerging consolidation of tools, but it's for those AI agents that may be interacting with your site rather than kind of crawling your entire site. It can give you a request, and if you're given the ability to discover which kind of tools are available, what kind of things you can do, it gives you a way to interact with those tools. Maybe you want to provide, as an example, not just to ask questions about your content, but you want to go a little bit deeper and maybe have a booking page or have some comparative kinds of things, or to submit like submit information to request a resource, as an example. And here's a preview of the WebMCP, which is really what is one of the surfaces in which I think this will come to pass, where right now this is in the early beta in preview mode from Google Chrome, but this is something that Microsoft and Google have got behind, and you can see here I've just used this extension for the time being until the features are released from Chrome to interact. And so you can see here I'd like to ask a question about brand sovereignty, and it's returning this result. So this is kind of giving you an early preview of that. That's really, I think, the one of the beautiful things of the NL Web project is that it is really reusing a lot of the existing infrastructure and creating this multi-faceted way of interacting for users, but also for the agents. And so as you build up your content, it's surfacing both of this to both of those kinds of consumers. And it's really great. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask us.